welcome back. Moving on with our Health 360 segment. As men get older, maintaining a healthy weight and active lifestyle can become more challenging. Changes in metabolism, busy schedules, increased responsibilities, and natural age-related muscle loss can all make it harder to stay fit. With Father's Day approaching, health experts are encouraging men, especially fathers, to prioritize their well-being through proper nutrition, regular exercise, and sustainable lifestyle habits. Joining us this morning is fitness trainer and gym owner Andrew Francis to speak about what men over 40 should know when it comes to staying healthy and strong. Good morning, Andrew.
Hi, good morning.
So many men say it becomes harder to lose weight after 40. Why does this happen, and what changes occur in the bodies of men at that age that affects fitness and overall health?
Okay, well, it is difficult for men over 40 to try to maintain a healthy lifestyle, right? Because weight loss for men at that age, it's difficult because, as you mentioned before, metabolism slows down, right, naturally as we age. And what happens is that it also affects, or I should say, it is affected by muscle loss, right? Because muscle degeneration is just a natural aging process as well.
Yeah.
So what happens is that the more muscle you have, the higher metabolism, because that is what fires your metabolism as you move, etc. What also happens is that insulin sensitivity decreases as you age, right? Which means that the blood sugar gets removed out of the blood less, so it gets stored. And when sugars get stored, it normally gets stored as fat.
Yes.
Right? So that happens more as you get older. And that's why it is advised that, the older you get, you start to look at your diet and make changes. You can't really eat the things that you used to eat when you were younger. And that sort of, basic stuff.
And what are some realistic fitness goals for men in their 40s, 50s, and beyond? And also, is it ever too late for someone to start exercising or even try to improve their health?
It's never too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never too late. I mean, there's a lot of videos out there on social media about these 70, 80, 90-year-old Chinese guys that are doing all these amazing fitness exercises and stuff like that, It's never too late. It's just to know where to start and to know your body, right? Realistic goals would be to just start by getting moving. If you're a very sedentary person, it's to start to change habits, move more. Maybe if you live somewhere or work somewhere that have steps, use the steps instead of the elevator or escalator. That's sort of simple things like that, right? And as you improve your fitness and you get fitter and you feel healthier, you can then start to, adventure into different areas. It means simple things like hiking, going on hikes and stuff like that is a really good, fun ways to expand your fitness horizon, if I could put it that way, So those are simple things that I recommend.
And in terms of exercising or exercise as it's, are there any particular or what types of exercise would be most important for men over 40 to be interacting with?
Basically, what we call whole body compound exercises, where you're working as many muscle groups as possible at the same time, right? Weight training more tends to lead to that sort of those sorts of workouts, right? You don't want to, or at least I think, in my opinion, you don't want to do a lot of high intensity or heavy joint loading work, because as you know, your joints and your bones, they get a little fragile as you get older, right? So you may think that you might be able to do things that you could have done 15, 20 years ago, until the reality hits, right? So, I mean, unless you are accustomed to things like running or playing certain sports that involve a lot of jumping or those sorts of high impact activities, I wouldn't advise that you go into that over 40 if that's not something you more or less grew up doing. And even that would impact your body and probably even make it worse as you get older in terms of, injury and things like that. But just general whole body movements, a lot of walking, right? As I said, strength training, weight training, even calisthenics, body weight training, right, is important, right? It's also important as well that men over 40 get into mobility work, which entails, a lot of movement, stretching, things like yoga is really helpful, right? So those sorts of things, just to kind of manage, your age and your movement and stuff like that.
Yeah. And how can fathers fit exercise into their schedule when balancing work and family and even responsibilities outside of that?
That is the hardest one. I mean, talking from experience, I try to fit it in. Even though I'm a gym owner, and people think, well, I work out all the time, right? All day, every day, which is not the case, right? But you basically have to schedule it, right? Just like I guess you schedule anything else. You have to schedule it in your time. Find a way to get it in, whether it's early in the morning. I know that rest and sleep is a big factor, especially in recovery, right? It's just to find a way to schedule it in. That's all I could really say. I know that it is tough, trying to provide, trying to be there, be supportive, everything like that. But men do have to take care of themselves as well, right? Exercise is not only for the body, but it's a de-stressing for the mind. Mental health is a big deal and stuff like that. So it's important that men get in something.
Absolutely. And what are some of the most common nutrition mistakes you've seen men making?
Well, in this country, we like to lime and drink and eat.
Right.
And especially men that are busy and that go through a hectic work day, right, or schedule. More often than not, they grab the quickest thing, the quickest drive-through, the doubles and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm not here to discredit anybody or tell anybody, not to eat X, Y, and Z. I mean, everything within moderation. Some things less, some things more, right? It comes really with knowledge, right? And arm yourself with the knowledge of the effects of what you eat, right? So then you can make intelligent choices. That essentially is what it comes down to. Yes, you might be looking for the quickest thing,
right?
But there's the lesser of two evils that you can choose if you know what to look for and you know what your body needs and stuff like that. So that's really the biggest thing that I would advise.
Okay. And how important is protein intake as men get older, and what role does hydration play in maintaining health and fitness?
Protein intake is a big deal, right? It is a big deal because, as I said before, muscle loss is a thing, right? It's a big deal as men grow older. Well, not only men and women. As everyone grows older, muscle loss happens, right? And muscle is made from protein. So to get the right proteins in at the right time, the right amount, because everybody needs a certain amount of protein daily. So it's important to find out, to get an idea of how much protein that I need let me try to find the healthy sources of it and try to get it, okay? Because it helps with maintaining muscle, maintaining overall health. And hydration, I mean, I can't stress enough how important that is, right? As you're aware how hot it is these days, right? So it is very easy to become dehydrated, right? And it just overall helps you to feel better. You know, dehydration leads to a lot of fatigue, a lot of stress, and we don't need that.
Absolutely. Right? What are some misconceptions men have about losing weight or even getting fit after 40?
That they can't. Yeah, you know, that a lot of men probably figure, why bothering? You know, it's past my time. I feel I'm a young boy again. You know, all that kind of stuff. And they can. Like I said before, you know, you find activities that you enjoy, you might want to try, right? Maybe you're not someone who is outdoorsy, but you might try a hike.
Yeah.
You know, discover your country. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you might pick up an activity that you didn't think was something that you might enjoy. So, for example, like pickleball is all the rage right now. Right? It is, in my opinion, not a very high intense activity in terms of jumping around and running about too much.
Yeah.
Maybe you might want to try a hand at that, right? Again, train with someone or get a group of friends that like to train, like to go to the gym, or like to do exercise. Maybe somebody might have a home gym that you can go and train with them, you know, things like that. Again, it's never too late.
Yeah.
And you can always try to find something that you more often than not want to enjoy doing.
Yeah.
At this point in time in your life, you want to enjoy life.
Yes.
Right? So enjoy the things that you do, more importantly.
Absolutely. And how can fathers become positive role models for healthy living within their families?
Well, we're talking about fathers, so your kids look at everything that you do.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you may realize it or not. So healthy habits, healthy activities, you know, they want to follow. They will want to mimic, right? Unhealthy activities, same.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're a smoker, for example, your kids will see that or may see that as something cool, right? Or it might be easier for them to fall into that lifestyle.
Yes.
If they have friends that smoke and stuff like that, as opposed to if you don't smoke and you do healthy activities, etc., and you're able to express to your children why you are doing X, Y, and Z on a healthy scale, it'll be harder for them to fall off and fall into the negative line of, you know, smoking and drinking and that sort of stuff, unhealthy activities, because they will have the knowledge and the example as to why they shouldn't and why they should. So I think that's probably the most important responsibility that fathers have.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, I feel like you've definitely answered and touched this, but I'm still gonna ask it. If a man over 40 wanted to make one change today to improve his health, what would you recommend?
Look at the reason why, right? What is the why behind it? And if you want to see your kids grow, see your kids do things, you know, go to college or get married, you know, if you want to have grandchildren, you know, that sort of, you need to be around, right? You need to be healthy enough to see all these things, you know, come to pass.
Yes.
Right? If you want to play with your grandchildren, you know, you have to be healthy enough to be able to run after them.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, what's the why behind it? And if you sit down and you look at yourself and you say, okay, the road I'm going down, I'm not going to live past 60, 65, whatever. Make the change now, right? I go back to something like smoking, for example. You know, they say if you stop smoking after a couple of days, after a week of not smoking, you know, your body starts to repair itself, and you start to give yourself back years of life, right? So something as simple as that, you know, I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard, right, to quit smoking, something as addictive as that. But again, what is the reason behind wanting to do that, right? I think that is the be-all and end-all really of why, of my advice to fathers as to why they should start to change their lifestyle, right? As small as, you know, going out and say, I'm going to walk the savannah, right? Or, you know, going out and playing with your children, right? Going to the beach and running up and down, or, you know, playing football on the beach, or playing football in the savannah with your kids, or riding a bike on any park, or, you know, just simple things like that, you know, because your kids will get you active, will get you fit, right? So even if you don't want to join a gym or join a group or whatever, if you say, okay, I'm going to get a bike and I'm going to ride with my kids every evening or 3 evenings or whatever, it's a start, right? So I think that is probably the biggest takeaway from this, you know, the why. And if you can, and it not only helps your health and fitness, but, you know, it builds the bonds with your kids and the time that you have with your kids and stuff like that, which is, you know, valuable.
Yes, definitely. And to even tie in with your message, another question, with Father's Day quickly approaching, what message would you like to send out to all dads out there?
Well, for all the men who either are fathers or act in the role of fathers, right? Uncles, teachers, you know, all the men that have some sort of responsibility over children, right? Happy Father's Day. And continue doing what you're doing in a positive light, right? Because, you know, your role is invaluable, right? Do the necessary needed to stick around, right? And to be there and be positive role models for the young ones coming up, so that you get some satisfaction from knowing that you contributed positively.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Andrew, for coming on and being a part of the conversation, as always, informative and timely with everything that you share with us. I really, really appreciate when you come on and, you know, you give us some tips with it and also give us the extra knowledge that we didn't think we needed, but we absolutely did need it to get.
No problem, anytime.
Thank you. Guys, as we wrap up today's show, we hope that all conversations, you were able to take away something from it. There were a message to receive from each person that came on today and shared with us. So it's really to just, you know, skim through, go back through and see what you were meant to take from it today. And as I always say to close, stay safe, stay informed, stay positive. Up next, we do have Sean Michael Small at 8 with Talking Point, so you want to come back for that. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Bye.